Here are the top Atlanta suburbs that you can afford to live in based on your salary. Let's start with looking at those who earn between $50,000 to $60,000 per year. We are starting with Austell, Georgia, east of Atlanta. Homes are starting at $200,000 here. Let's factor in 7% interest rate. That means a monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% would cause your monthly payments on a 30-year loan to be $1,339 per month. The monthly income required to afford at 30% is around $4,463. That means your annual salary would need to be around $53,560 to afford this home. Second area to look towards is Conyers, Georgia, west of Atlanta. Here you can buy a home starting around $225,000. If we factor in 7% interest rate with 20% down on a 30-year loan, your monthly payment would be around $1,501 per month. The monthly income to afford this property at 30% would be around $5,000 per month, meaning you would need to make about $60,040 per year to be able to afford to purchase this home. As we go further in this video, there are a few things that you need to note. First is, for all the new construction homes mentioned in this video, these are numbers based on homes that are in the MLS. Note that there are a lot of builders out there that either don't put all their homes in the MLS or maybe none of them at all. So there are probably more homes available in terms of new construction than are actually listed in the MLS, but the numbers we have are from the MLS. Next, when it comes to the population numbers, this is just for those that land in the city limits. I've learned that every state is a little different. For here in Georgia, what happens is every home has a city as part of their address, but not everyone lives in the city limits. We have both in the city and outside of it, which is called unincorporated here in Georgia. And matter of fact, more people live in unincorporated parts of a city than they do inside the city limits. So the numbers you're seeing here are just for the city limits. And lastly, know that these estimates are based on putting 20% down, getting a 7% interest rate, and estimated property taxes and insurance, as well as the loans are based on 30% of your income. Now moving on, if your salary is between $80,000 to $100,000 per year, here are some of your best options in Metro Atlanta. Now this is going to be a pretty diverse bracket, so keep in mind that almost every city I mention here will have homes available at almost every price point. But here are 4 cities where you will find the easiest time finding something within your budget. Number 1 is McDonough, Georgia, south of Atlanta. Population is around 31,186. The median home price around $315,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate would be around $2,086 per month. Monthly income required to afford at 30% would be around $6,953. The number of new construction homes for sale in the current market is around 76. This means you would need to earn $83,440 per year to live in McDonough, Georgia. Now, McDonough is one of the most affordable suburbs in Atlanta and will have older homes available in the low to mid $200,000 range. But one thing about McDonough is you have a lot of new construction here as well. You will have a plethora of home types and year builds to choose from. Number 2 is Dallas, Georgia. Dallas, Georgia has a population of 15,319. The median home price is around $330,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate would be around $2,185 per month. Monthly income required to afford at 30% would be around $7,283. The number of new construction homes for sale in the current market is about 110. This means you would need to earn around $87,400 per year to live in Dallas. There are a lot of new construction communities going up around Dallas. This is one of the fastest growing communities around, and the west side of Atlanta, we are finding more affordable homes as well as a lot more new construction communities. And of course, I already toured this area, so if you want to know what it's like to live in Dallas, Georgia, some pros and cons, you can check out this video that I did right here. Number 3 on this list is Lawrenceville, Georgia. Lawrenceville, Georgia has a population of 32,318. The median home price is around $355,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $2,349. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $7,830, meaning you need an income around $93,960 per year to afford to move to Lawrenceville, Georgia. New construction homes available for sale is around 34. Lawrenceville is super unique as there are a lot of well-established neighborhoods already in the area, but there are also a lot of new construction communities available as well. In 2022, after I had already made a video stating this, Realtor.com named Lawrenceville, Georgia as the number 4 most affordable and best city to buy in for the entire US. I still think in 2024, this still rings true. Lawrenceville, for what it has to offer and its prices, is still one of the best buys in all of Metro Atlanta. And of course, if you want to know all the ins and outs of living in Lawrenceville, Georgia, you can take a look at this video right here. And fourth on our list is Lilburn, Georgia. Lilburn has a population of 16,733. The median home price is around $365,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $2,417. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $8,056. There are 0 new construction homes for sale in this current market. Now that's according to the MLS. I do know there are a few new homes here and there, but they're not new communities. They're more just new homes being built in already established neighborhoods or off of main roads. You need an income of around $96,680 per year to afford a home in Lilburn, Georgia. Hey, it's Jonathan McCoy here, and if you're looking to make that move here to Atlanta, Georgia, or the surrounding area, then go ahead and hit that subscription button so you can be in the know about the current market here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I just love helping people just like you making that move here to Atlanta, Georgia. So whether you're making that move right now, a month from now, or a year from now, all my contact information is below. Please reach out. We love to help people make that smooth move here to Atlanta, Georgia. Now, if you're earning between $100,000 and $125,000 per year, you have more options to choose from. First is Decatur, Georgia, population of 24,366. The median home price is around $383,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $2,546. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $8,486. There are 26 new construction homes for sale in the current market. You need an income of around $101,840 per year to afford a home in Decatur, Georgia. Most of the new construction homes for sale in Decatur are one-off homes, and not a lot of new neighborhoods are being built here. Decatur is a well-established and dense area with plenty of 50s and 60s homes, which make up most of what you will find. If you are looking in the actual city limits of Decatur, or at brand new construction, those prices will be much higher than the median sales price. Next on our list is Buford, Georgia. Population is around 19,008. The median home price is around $435,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $2,894. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $9,646. There are 48 new construction homes for sale in the current market. You need an income of around $115,760 per year to afford a home in Buford, Georgia. Buford is super unique as Buford has its own city schools, which is outside of the normal system here in Georgia, which is a county system. And Buford city schools are well known for their academics and their athletics. Matter of fact, the school system as a whole for the city of Buford is always found to be in the top 3 school systems in all of Georgia. And matter of fact, right now on niche.com, you will find Buford City Schools as the #1 school system in all of Georgia. For this and other reasons, homes in the city of Buford are in very high demand. Following this is Marietta. Marietta's population is 65,034. The median home price is around $447,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at a 7% interest rate is around $2,970. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $9,900. The number of new construction homes for sale in the current market is 44. You need an income of around $118,800 per year to afford to live in Marietta, Georgia. Last in this bracket is Canton, Georgia. Canton is home to 38,101 people. The median home price is around $463,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $3,093. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $10,310. New construction homes for sale in the current market is 90. You need an income of around $123,720 per year to afford to live in Canton, Georgia. While Canton is one of the furthest northern suburbs we cover in this video, it's also one of the fastest growing areas. There are a lot of new construction options here and growth in this area, which has made it more and more attractive. Also, if you live in Canton, you have easy access to Lake Allatoona. Now it's time to step up to those who are making between $125,000 to $150,000 per year. Leading us off is Cumming, Georgia. Cumming's population is 7,828. The median home price is around $475,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $3,178. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $10,593. The number of new construction homes for sale in the current market is 68. You need an income of around $127,120 per year to afford to live in Cumming, Georgia. Cumming, Georgia, and specifically Forsyth County, has the highest growth rate of any county in all of Georgia. People are moving here in droves for the amenities that are going in, access to Lake Lanier, and most importantly, some of the most stellar schools in all of Georgia. Now, I almost didn't include this next city in my video because it has the same median sales price of $475,000, so a lot of the numbers are similar in terms of how much it costs to afford a home. However, this is such a great city. It's one of my favorites. It's what I live in. So, talking about Duluth, Georgia. Duluth, Georgia has a population of 32,318 people. This is a much more well-established area than Cumming, Georgia that we just mentioned, so there are only 8 new construction properties for sale in this market. I've done plenty of videos on Duluth, Georgia, so if you want to know what it's like to look here, you can find a couple right here and here. Moving on to what was just rated by Fortune.com as the number 19 city in all the US and the number 1 city in Georgia for places to live for families, and that is Peachtree Corners, Georgia. Peachtree Corners is home to 42,105 people. The median home price is around $535,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $3,505. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $11,683. New construction homes for sale in the current market is 4. You need an income of around $140,200 per year to afford to live in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. Now, Peachtree Corners, Georgia is a true gem here in Metro Atlanta. It's actually where I'm filming this video right now. And if you want to know more about living in Peachtree Corners, Georgia and what it has to offer, you can find a few videos here and here. The northeast suburb of Suwanee, Georgia is next on our list. Suwanee, Georgia has a population of 23,535. The median home price is around $571,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $3,739. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $12,463. New construction homes for sale in the current market is 8. You need an income of around $149,560 per year to afford to live in Suwanee, Georgia. Suwanee, Georgia is another one of those high demand suburbs here in Atlanta, Georgia. And of course, you know what that means. I did a video about it that you can find out what you need to know about Suwanee, Georgia, and you can see that video right here. Now we're moving on to those who have a salary between $150,000 to $175,000 per year and what you can find here in Metro Atlanta. Which takes us to the northern suburb of Sandy Springs. This is one of the largest suburbs of Atlanta, and Sandy Springs has a population of 108,601 people. The median home price is around $635,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $4,163. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $13,877. New construction homes for sale in the current market is 18. You need an income of around $166,520 per year to afford to live in Sandy Springs, Georgia. One thing Sandy Springs has to offer is there are a number of large companies that call this area home. If you live in Sandy Springs, you can have an opportunity to have a really short commute time to work, which is rare here in Atlanta. And if you want to know what it's like to call Sandy Springs home, I've got you covered with this video right here. Next on our list is Alpharetta, Georgia. Alpharetta has a population of 69,359. The median home price is around $669,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $4,377. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $14,590. New construction homes for sale in the current market is 38. You need an income of around $175,080 per year to afford to live in the city of Alpharetta. Alpharetta is home to some amazing schools, great amenities like the Avalon, and has an upbeat and trendy downtown area. Alpharetta has so much more of that city feel than the suburb, and people that move here, you can find a bigger home with more space, but you can still get that city feel. So if that is what's calling you, then Alpharetta could be a great choice for you to move to. And if Alpharetta is calling your name, then check out this video right here. Last one on this bracket is Johns Creek, Georgia. The population of Johns Creek is 82,993. The median home price is around $690,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate is around $4,422. Monthly income required to afford at 30% is $15,073. New construction homes for sale in the current market is 5. You need an income of around $180,880 per year to afford to live in Johns Creek, Georgia. If you want to understand the pros and cons of living in Johns Creek, Georgia, you can find a video right here. And if you want to take a tour of one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Johns Creek, you can find a video right here for that. Now we're moving to the highest bracket and the most affluent suburb in all of Atlanta. We're talking about those that earn more than $200,000 per year. And what city are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Milton, Georgia. Milton has a population of 42,880. The median home price is around $970,000. The monthly payment on a house with 20% down at 7% interest rate would be around $6,471 per month. The monthly income required to afford at 30% would be around $21,570. The number of new construction homes for sale in the current market is around 26. This means you would need to earn about $258,840 per year to afford to live in the city of Milton. Overall, I hope this gave you a great overview of different metro Atlanta suburbs and ones that would fit inside of your budget. So if you have any questions or concerns or comments, please drop them below, or you can reach out to me. I would love to talk with you about your unique situation and what may be a great fit for you. In the meantime, if you want to know about the current market here in Atlanta, Georgia, and the current housing numbers, I did a video right here. And of course, explore my channel as you can find plenty other tours and information about living here in Atlanta and the metro Atlanta area. Feel free to reach out anytime and make comments below. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.